Hello and welcome to the C Show. We had a tough end of the week last week. We lost three important figures in the world of sports entertainment. First of all, I don't feel so good. R.I.P. Chuck Mangione. Do you have anything to say about America's favorite flugelhornist?
Oh, I'm just going to say there's definitely going to be a couple bevies and some King of the Hill cherry-picked episodes in honor of our guy.
The Megalomart. If you ever are listening to the single version of Feels So Good, if you're watching it on YouTube, put it to 175 playback speed, and it sounds exactly like a Mario Kart song.
Stop.
Moving on, we would like to take a moment to memorialize WWE Hall of Famer class of 2021, the one, the only Ozzy Osbourne. Obviously, Ozzy is best known for being a legend in rock and metal, rock, classic rock, all of those areas, both as the frontman of Black Sabbath, as a solo artist. But he also, in the world of sports entertainment, he appeared at WrestleMania 2 when he joined forces with Captain Lou Albano to manage the British Bulldogs, cousins Davey Boy Smith and the Dynamite Kid, who we just had a big announcement about. They're making a movie about him, as they captured the World Tag Team Championships. So, aside from the wrestling stuff, this is when Vince was starting to bring in a lot of celebrities to help make the WWF at the time more mainstream. Most notably, Cyndi Lauper was one of the big ones at WrestleMania 1. For me personally, Black Sabbath is foundational. Ozzy was a leader for alternative culture, whatever you want to call it, alt, goth, just like people who didn't feel normal in society. Mm-hmm. And that all comes out of them and their experience of living in like a semi-industrial to post-industrial Birmingham. Tony Iommi famously doesn't have fingertips because he lost them and then had to detune his guitar. Right. So that's why their guitar tone was so fresh for Black Sabbath in the early 70s, is because they were doing something that literally nobody was doing in mainstream music. And so, especially if you go back and listen to that early stuff, it's so incredible. Obviously, Paranoid, Volume 4, Master of Reality. Like, if you haven't listened to those three records, go and listen to those three records. But also, Black Sabbath's performance at Live Aid in 1985, we're just celebrating the 40th anniversary of that. They were actually at the Vet down in South Philly. Yes.
Oh, nice.
They were part of that performance. And then finally, the two things that I want to bring up are about Sabbath, unless you have anything here.
All I want to say, obviously such a big cultural icon, but again, someone that went through a lot of struggle in their life, had a lot of different afflictions and addictions and all, mm-hmm. and found a way to get themselves clean.
Yes.
and live their best possible life from there forward. And again, it doesn't only have to be people that have all those resources and everything. I know it makes it easier, but if you're someone out there that has any kind of struggle, any kind of help that
yes.
you need, go find it. We all have the opportunity to turn our lives around every single day. Absolutely.
And I think Sharon's love for Ozzy and the love for her family should be commended. She stood by him through thick and thin. And, Ozzy was the butt of so many jokes in the early 2000s, the biting of the bats, the mumbling, everything else. And I feel like in the past 10 years, at least, that's really turned around and he's become this reverential figure in culture. I love Black Sabbath. My last and final thanks here are to my childhood neighbors, Miss Lily and Mr. Richard, who, when they were moving out of their house, were like, "Hey, do you want a box of records?" And I was like, "Yes, please." And in that box of records is an original pressing of Black Sabbath's Paranoid, which I blasted after I learned the news. So, R.I.P. Ozzy, thank you so much. We love you. Now, moving on. We lost Hulk Hogan last week. Now, we've already spent 6 minutes kind of talking about some people here, but I think we can't go without saying anything about the Hulkster, right? So,
yeah. As a lot of people are saying, and I find it funny, people are like, well, it's a complicated passing. It's like, mm-hmm. Depends how you look at it. you want to say. He was this for WWE. He was this for this, that. Like, I'm a person, I don't separate the art from the artist. A lot of movies and all I don't watch, a lot of other things I don't, just because I don't. That's just, it just doesn't work for me to do it any other way.
Yeah.
With all the things that we know about him and his personal and professional life, I'm not one. Again, I send thoughts and prayers out to his family, the people directly affected by this. But guess what? The big WWE machine is going to keep spinning.
It is. I think my point here is that two things can be true at the same time. Yes, Hulk was a driving force in to mainstream the WWF and wrestling in general. The Hulkster is a key part of the Monday Night Wars between the WWE and WCW, which led to, again, consolidation within the industry. His presence in Hollywood, his presence on television as a figure in the legal world. Essentially, like, they mentioned this on Busted Open too, but like, he took down Gawker. Peter Thiel funded the lawsuit that took down Gawker, because Peter Thiel also had beef with Gawker and saw it as an opportunity to take down Gawker because Hulk Hogan also had beef with them. Did Gawker do the right thing? Not necessarily. That's a story for another day. That being said, as important as he is to the industry, it's also true that he was a horrendous racist. He was a terrible coworker. He was an outright liar. These things can all be true at the same time. We can sit here and we can you are more than allowed to have the position of, I'm not going to watch this because it makes me uncomfortable. That is totally within your right. You're also allowed to enjoy something and say, hey, I think that person is bad. I understand that they're bad. This is why I think they're bad. You're totally allowed to have that position as well. I think when we don't talk about these things, it makes them worse. Something that Warner Brothers used to do, I don't know if they do it anymore because of the woke, but the reaction to the woke, the response. But before old Looney Tunes cartoons, before old animations, they just have a title card that says, hey, some of this stuff was produced in a time when racial stereotypes and other stereotypes were acceptable. They are not acceptable anymore. We are preserving this to show it in its original format because it's important to show these things existed. This was popular culture at the time, and it's wrong. It was wrong then. It's wrong now, but it's important to show that. And I think talking about, if you want to talk about Hulk Hogan, you got to talk about the bad as much as the good. So,
yeah, I agree with you. Again, nothing in the world is black and white. At the end of the day, it's just about, your personal feelings. And I'm not going to tell anyone they're wrong for how they feel. And I hope they, don't, I hope they give me the same courtesy.
You gotta stand up, it don't help to hide. 'Cause if you hurt my friends, then you hurt my pride. I gotta be a man, I can't let it slide. 'Cause you are a real American, even if you're trans or Mexican. You are a real American, doing what's right, fight for your life.
welcome back to the C Show, everybody. I'm Charlie.
I'm Connor.
And we are talking about Smackdown on July 25th, 2025. The show started off with a Hulk Hogan tribute. We just talked about Hulk Hogan, so we're not going to continue talking about that. Of course, the whole company is there. They got Sergeant Slaughter, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Really interesting, the front row of people they picked. Pre-tape, 10-ball salute, the whole deal, right? So, Tess comparing Tiger Woods to Hulk Hogan afterwards is an amazing dig. Great job, Joe. We're very proud of you. And of course, the WWE is like, Triple H is sitting there and he's like, how can we start off a show celebrating a divisive figure in the history of sports entertainment? Oh, what about his next successor, essentially? Logan Paul comes out.
So Logan Paul comes out and immediately he gets in the ring and he's like, yeah, he's like, thank you, Like he starts saying thank you, Logan. Like they were chanting it, and I'm like, him lying about the crowd chanting thank you, Logan. The spirit of Hulk Hogan lives on.
Logan brags to the crowd that, I'm not like you. I made it out, and you're still here. Jeez. I mean, the Joaquin Noah, I've never heard anybody say, I can't wait for my vacation to Cleveland next week. Listen, Jelly Roll comes out. Listen, don't make me like Jelly Roll, folks. He brings up bringing light to the ring. The only thing Logan has brought to the ring is a ring light. Of course, Drew and Randy come out as well to support their celebrity tag team partners at SummerSlam. And again, don't make me like Jelly Roll here, because he does a mile high slam or black hole slam on Logan. Randy is just like, yeah, that's my boy. That's my boy.
I do just want to say Jelly Roll sang Randy out. He started singing his song before they played it, and it got a little far. I'm like, I feel like they should have already started playing his song if he's coming. I thought they were gonna do a thing where for some reason they beat up Randy before in the back or something.
Fade it in.
Right? In. I was like, oh no, is Randy not coming? But he did.
Your sound tech has that huge board with 60 sliders on it, 64 sliders. Just use it. But again, Randy is thrilled about this, and Logan must have bit his tongue or cheeks because his mouth is bloody, or he may have just, oh shoot, I just remembered this. He may have popped a blood pack.
Yeah,
could have done that too. After that, we get an Andrade and Ray Phoenix pre-tape. Those Maseratis are worth $20,000. Don't be tricked by them. But speaking of money, it's just a matter of time before that gold is around their waist. Somos dinero. We are money.
They're money, and they're on a different level.
They're on a different level. I think Somos Dineros would be a great team name.
Ooh.
Yes.
I like that.
Speaking of teams, it's Alexa Bliss and Roxanne Perez with their tag team partners, Charlotte Flair and Raquel Rodriguez.
Charlotte's got the black pom-poms. She's got the pom-poms this time. Maybe she does look like a cheerleader.
She does look like a cheerleader. Alexa gets a huge pop in Cleveland. She is from Columbus nearby. I did know Alexa lent the pom-poms to Charlotte. And it is a good bit to humble Charlotte a little bit like that. I think it's this is honestly super fun for both of them. It's a really interesting way to bring them together. It's two white ladies. You gotta be interesting with it. So creating a dynamic between them is fun.
I need Alexa Bliss to tear Charlotte's heart out. I need the friends to happen, and then I need it.
The arc.
Exactly. I need it still beating out of her chest style.
Kalima.
Exactly.
What's your move in the match here?
So my move of the match here, I believe, is actually the same as yours.
Oh, okay.
So Alexa goes to climb the top rope to hit Roxanne with the Twisted Bliss. Raquel is outside about to powerbomb Charlotte.
Yes.
And so Bliss clicks down the middle button and changes the wrestler she's aiming at from in the ring to Raquel on the outside, and then does a Twisted Bliss to the outside.
Yeah, Alexa and Roxanne are just fantastic together. Two very similar styles of wrestlers going against each other, but very complementary in a way that was interesting. And then having Raquel and Charlotte outside was a really fun dynamic. The finale here is, again, after our move of the match, Roxanne is able to roll up Alexa and get that pin. 1, 2, 3. It's over.
She grabbed the ropes, though. She's a cheater. She grabbed the ropes. It was a dirty win. Who would have guessed?
Who would have guessed Judgment Day cheating? Backstage, Kathy Kelly interviews Jade, and in the background, The Miz talks to Solo Sikoa and the MFTs.
Oh, I missed that.
Ooh. Jade is going to show us all why she's a natural-born champion, but Chelsea Green intervenes. Chelsea was screwed out of the Queen of the Ring tourney. Jade is behind me, isn't she? Chelsea gets the right hook, and she forgot her hat. Jade beats her through Gorilla, drags a referee to the ramp, and we get Jade Cargill versus Chelsea Green. But before we get to it, speaking of Green, Connor, you like to save money, right?
I do.
Who doesn't like to save money? Connor, you also like movies, right?
I do.
You like going to the movies?
Yes.
You like going to the movies and saving money?
Yeah, whenever I can combo, I combo.
Well, thanks to our friends at AMC, if you visit our link in bio, that's linktr.ee/AMC, tr.ee/cshowpod. Check out the link to get 40% off AMC tickets. Let's see what's in the movies. I know Fantastic Four comes out. This Friday. Superman is still in theaters. We've also got...
It came out last Friday, didn't it? Fantastic Four?
Oh, it did come out last Friday. That's right. Yes. Yeah, released July 25th. Okay. So, Fantastic Four, First Steps is still in theaters. Let me know what that post-credit scene is like. I'm just going to wait till it's on Marvel or on Disney Plus, whatever. You've also got Superman, Jurassic World Rebirth, which is still in theaters. I Know What You Did Last Summer, if you're into the horror stuff. Again, Eddington, if you're looking for some political satire. Some newer stuff that's coming out. Some stuff that's coming out this weekend includes The Bad Guys 2 for kids out there, all kids of all ages. The new Naked Gun, which I have to report I've heard really good things about so far. So this is potentially something that you should go and check out. But there's also stands, weapons. Dude, they're re-releasing Shrek.
Ooh.
Come on. Go get your 40% off AMC tickets at the link in the description. T's and C's applies. Thanks for listening to The C Show. Getting back to it, we've got Jade Cargill versus Chelsea Green. After Jade drags Chelsea to the match, I mean, there's no secret Hervis, so it's all about Jade and Chelsea. It's all about Jade brutalizing Chelsea here. My move of the match here is after Chelsea's feeble attempt at a submission move, Jade hits the Jaded and rolls Chelsea over for the pin. 1, 2, 3. It's over.
And as you mentioned before, originally there was no secret Hervis.
But they come barreling in.
Yeah, you know, if there's trouble, they'll be there. So Secret Hervis comes in, jumps Jade, and then Tiffy comes down.
It's Tiffy time!
Comes down for the save. We get a scene at the end with Jade kind of posing with the title, a little tug of war over it at the end. Again, really build into this coming Sunday for SummerSlam, or Saturday. I don't know which day their match is.
This weekend at SummerSlam. Backstage, Alexa is wiping her face off while Charlotte consoles her. Maybe after they become champions, they can become friends. Cody comes out, thank goodness for some normalcy, so I thought.
Even Cody's out here doing tricks on it.
It's complicated, but his accomplishments and contributions are indisputable. But thankfully, we get to talking about his fight with John Cena at SummerSlam. There are street fights, and then there's what's going to happen at SummerSlam, talking about violence. But he doesn't want to fight this John Cena. He wants to fight the real John Cena.
How do we know if it's the real John Cena?
I was just thinking about like the real Slim Shady. Yes, I'm the real John Cena. Yes, I'm the real John Cena.
I thought maybe you wrote down the list of all the things he said like I did. He said, I want the real John Cena. Talk to Stu. Run to the ring. Wear the title the right way.
I will beat the hustle, loyalty, respect. Or they will beat the hustle, loyalty, respect out of each other. This story isn't fantasy. It's not just legacy. The only person who has the answer is you, John Cena. I'll see you next week. We then cut to a pre-tape of Damian Priest and Aleister Black trading barbs. Aleister starts out first, calls out Damian for sticking his nose in Black's business. Damian responds, "You think I owed you a debt?" Damian then recollects an anecdote from the streets, implying he murdered a man. And he says, "I will unmake you."
And then real quick, we get Jacob backstage.
Yes.
Talking to Solo, saying, you know, I love you, but you made it like this. You tried to set me up. I told everyone I'm never going back to jail. And then The Miz shows up.
He is looking like a villain in a cheap Star Wars knockoff. But basically, The Miz comes out. He says, Solo warned me about you. I went to Pierce. I set up a match. We're going to fight right now.
And he slaps the hell out of Jacob. And he says, because I'm The Miz, and I am back.
And the crowd goes, awesome. And of course, the Cleveland boy here, The Miz. But of course, we get this match here. This it's not much of a match between Jacob Fatu and The Miz here until, of course,
here come the MFTs.
Solo and the MFTs come out. The Miz does try to take advantage of this distraction. During a break, Fatu catches the crossbody and then slams The Miz to the ground.
My move of the match is Fatu hits the 10 headbutts in the corner. He hits a running hip attack. Eventually, of course, the MFTs get involved, as they always do. They pull The Miz out of the ring, so Jacob's like, that's fine. I'll just dive on top of all of you.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets back in the ring and hits the pop-up Samoan drop for the win.
1, 2, 3 pin for Jacob. And of course, the MFTs attack afterwards, but did they plan this together with The Miz while Jade was talking to Kathy Kelly?
Maybe.
My move of the match here is Tala Tonga getting hit in the nuts with the chair before getting hit in the back. Because, folks, it's funny.
Yeah, this whole thing was great. There's a point where they hit Tala Tonga with the chair and he just no-sells it because he's humongous. And then he grabs Jacob and like Solo gets in his face and starts yelling at him. And you can hear him yell to Jacob to kick him. And then Jacob doesn't. So he yells, "Mother effer, kick me." And then Jacob kicks him. Fatu cleans house. He tries to do the spot where they put the chair around Solo's neck and does the running hip attack. Tala Tonga, right, comes in and hits a clothesline on Fatu, and he does the Rikishi bump. He does the full flip off the clothesline, hit him with a choke slam, hit Fatu with the Samoan spike, and then it's a pose down.
The crowd chants, "Fuck you, Solo." Backstage, Kathy Kelly is with the Street Profits and B-Fab. Kathy would like their perspective. The Street Profits mentioned that the Wyatts are a different type of enemy. The Profits are confused at why they didn't get a shot at the title like DIY did. DIY approached them. Gargano is the Cleveland guy. What are you doing messing around here? Candice LeRae reminds them that the Profits need to stay out of their way. Zelina approaches Julia elsewhere backstage. Kiana James comes out to represent Julia sort of as a translator while Julia is in this transitional period here. Zelina says, "Get out of the way, clipboard Karen. The muzzles are off. I'm here to talk about my rematch." Zelina gets her shot next week. Julia says, "It's okay. I like a little fire. Tragedy lures, but fortune is first."
It seemed weird to me to give Julia this, valet mouthpiece, whatever you want to say. Like, I thought she was fine anytime she's been speaking. I've liked her promos. Like, her English seems fine. Like, so I don't know if there's kind of something else they're pushing with this. I'm just kind of interested to see how this goes. That was just shocking to me for them to give her a mouthpiece.
It could be for live pieces where it's a live event. There's a lot of pressure there, especially on an American television show, to speak English well. And so it could have been a thing where she requested and said, "Hey, can I have somebody join me to speak for me?"
That's fair.
And then she might do pre-tape stuff. But again, we'll see where this goes. I like Zelina calling Kiana James clipboard Karen.
Yeah, like that was worth it just by itself.
Moving on, our main event of the evening, the WWE Tag Team Championship, Andrade and Rey Fénix versus the Wyatt Six. I mentioned that this will not be their last shot at the title. Rey and Andrade raise the Mexican flag on their entrance, Orale. I do say, hey, we're not going to get a full match here. Am I right?
I would say it was a full match. Like, that could have been the ending and then the schmaz after. Like, they get a lot of good stuff in here. Like, I had more notes than I thought. Again, I thought the same thing. I was kind of looking at the time. I'm like, there's obviously going to be something here.
Yeah.
But I thought they put it together pretty well.
And we'll talk about it when we get to the finish here, because my move of the match is the finale and the announcement at the end. But tell me about your move of the match.
So my move of the match is Rey Fénix loves to do that move where he kind of throws himself through the ropes like Rey Mysterio doing a 619. Usually he'll bounce back in and do a punch or a kick or whatever else.
Yeah.
And he goes to do it. And I believe it was Dexter Loomis. No, it was Gacy. Gacy just kicks him in the middle of it and just kicks him right out the ring. And I'm like, that looked brutal.
Yeah. No, Gacy and Loomis were just mean during this. Fénix tries to do an Eddie Guerrero homage, but Loomis attacks. Fénix, again, tries to save himself on the ropes, but Gacy kicks him out. Brutal. Andrade counters for the assisted powerbomb. Gacy kicks out at 2.99. Phoenix splashes on Loomis, but Nikki Cross disqualifies the match by pulling the ref. Rowan attacks. Fraxium appears. Rowan throws Axiom into Frazier for Frazier in my notes here. Motor City Machine Guns appear and eat shit from Rowan too. Uncle Howdy is now on the ring. Howdy and Phoenix brawling. The Profits appear. A huge kick from Montez Ford. DIY bring out Aldis. Aldis has the mic. Fraxium take out DIY. Dawkins splashes on the 6. Ford on everyone else. All of security is here. Aldis has had enough. TLC at SummerSlam. SummerSlam. That's so good. We're keeping that in. Yes, so a table, ladders, and chairs match at SummerSlam. It keeps going. We've got Chaos in Cleveland. Andrade throws the Prime bottle. Roll the credits. Ciampa goes flying while the 6 revel in the insanity.
So exciting. Like, they did that TLC match. I don't remember if it was right before or right after WrestleMania, and we're like, that was stupid. Why was that not on? Mm-hmm. So I'm glad they kind of made good. And again, to have Rey Fenix and Andrade in here is going to be insane. If
there's somebody at WWE corporate who's listening, thank you. Thank you. I can't tell which state you're listening in, but if it says Stanford, I got you. Anything about Raw? Or anything about SmackDown before we get into Raw here?
No, we got one more for them to kind of really tighten everything up. I love where all the stories are going. Mm-hmm. I think this has been a really good build. And so, yeah, let's get through Raw and let's get ready to kind of touch up before we get to it.
And we'll be right back here on The C Show. Welcome back to the C Show. We're talking about Raw on July 28th, 2025. The show starts off with, of course, another Hulk Hogan tribute. If you want to hear us talk about Hulk Hogan, or if you want to hear anybody talk about Hulk Hogan, we recommend that you either go to the beginning of this show and listen to the first 15 minutes, or you can go back and watch SmackDown or Raw. Moving on, we're yeeting again. Jay comes out. He gets the crowd jumping after a sort of a somber start. He surprises Cole from coming out by coming out from the crowd. The crowd wants to do this one more time, but not without Paul Heyman saying something first. He gets booed by the crowd, and Paul says, "My name is not Boo." Jay and Roman are in the main event with SummerSlam. The crowd wants Roman. Heyman speaking about family is rich, because how many families does he owe money? Paul does run away after Jay gives him the evil eye, because again, we're not a video podcast, but I'm looking at the video camera. Paul does say, "Trust the Oracle. All of your mothers lied to you about Santa Claus. They lied to you about this too. Except for the Jewish ones. My tribe knows better. I know a lot of Jewish moms. That's what they want you to think. Roman Reigns lied to you too. Jey Uso, I love you." And then I don't know how to describe it, but I need an MP3 file of it so we can put it on the soundboard. But Paul going, "Yeet!"
We definitely need that as a clip. In trouble. Mm-hmm. He said, "That's not a prediction. That's a prophecy."
Prophecy?
That's what he said. That's a prophecy.
Ooh.
You know, Jay speaks back, "I'm here because of my family. Mm-hmm. The bloodline still runs deep in my veins. Mm-hmm. And whatever happens is on your ass. 4 letters. One word. Yeet." And then he literally says, looks at the camera and goes, "Run this shit back," and does like the little hand motion. They play a song again.
Excellent. Excellent. And Jay comes back at the end of the show, so we'll have more to talk about there. Our first match of the evening is a 6-person mixed tag team match. It's AJ Styles and the Kabuki Warriors of Asuka and Kairi Sane versus Judgment Day, Raquel and Roxanne with Dom. My move of the match is the same thing that I brought up when we were talking about SmackDown, but don't make me like AJ Styles.
Can I ask, what did they do that made you even pop the thought that you're like, oh, do I have to like AJ Styles now? What was it that pushed you to that? You're not over the line. What pushed you to that line?
The Ushigoroshi, probably a phenomenal forearm at the end. AJ sending Kyrie flying, that was awesome.
What always pops me is the Pele kick.
Yeah,
the Pele kick's always
the
so
bicycle
sick.
For soccer fans. That's a bicycle kick.
And
but there's already a bicycle kick in wrestling, so they just call it a Pele kick because Pele popularized the bicycle kick in the U.S.
So, you also mentioned my move of the match. So, Asuka holds down the rope, and AJ throws Kairi Sane for an insane elbow to the outside on Raquel.
She like runs up, and then he like lifts her up and throws her, and she gets at least 15 feet up in the air.
Yeah, it was like reminiscent of like a figure skating throw, like using the motion with it.
Yeah, it is paired like figure skating stuff. It is incredible. But I put this in my notes here at the beginning, but this is a mixed tag team match. So what makes that different than a regular tag team match?
So mixed is usually just when they talk about men and women both being involved in a match. And it's been different over time, especially like incredibly recently.
Yes.
Actually, even until newest version of the WWE game, you couldn't even do intergender matches because they're like, we don't want to put that into the space, if that makes sense.
Because, I mean, let's just be frank about it. There's a lot of violence against women in video games.
And so this is the first year in forever you could actually have intergender matches. And sometimes for mixed tags, they let that happen as well.
All right. I am so sorry about this, folks, but we had a small technical error on our end. The recorder just seems to have stopped. And so we're just going to pick up here with the finale of the mixed tag team match here. So, as Kyrie tags in AJ, it's clear Dom doesn't want to be here. He's got his fingers in his ears. He's got his palms over his ears later. AJ just going on a tear. He does that Ushigoroshi, which I mentioned earlier, but Roxanne gets in the way. Asuka with the baseball slide kick on Roxanne, and then the kick on Raquel. As we mentioned, Connor's move of the match. Asuka holds the rope down. Kyrie goes flying with AJ's assistance for the insane elbow. A phenomenal forearm from AJ Styles. Pins Dom. 1, 2, 3 for the win. What a match. Don't make me like AJ Styles. Backstage, Jackie Redmond is with Sheamus, but the New Day and Grayson Waller approach. Grayson is feeling different after shedding Austin Theory, but Sheamus warns him about getting a bad dose of otheritis. Sheamus challenges Grayson Waller. When they call my name, it's banger after banger after banger after banger.
Thank God for the redo, because I got to hit even one more point here. So, Sheamus, when talking about his match last week, he was like, as Big E would say, it was big, meaty men slapping meat. Can't leave that out. And then when Grayson Waller's talking, he's like, oh, well, the New Day's got my back. The New Day both take off their sunglasses and look like stick to their stomach, like, what did he just say? And then, and then at the very end, after Sheamus does his banger, Waller turns around and the New Day is just gone.
Yeah. Well, we've got more on this interesting development with Grayson Waller and the New Day. There was an interview during an ad break, so we'll get to that there in a moment. But this leads into Sheamus versus Grayson Waller. My move of the match is real simple. It's the Dublin smile. We've all done it. We've all stuck our fingers in the corner of our mouths and stuck out our tongue to make a funny face at a baby. But just imagine, a 6'3" tall Irish man doing it with all 4 of his fingers.
He's only got 4 fingers? So
4 fingers and a thumb.
So I have I have 2 moves of the matches. So early in the match, Sheamus picks up a power slam. Waller tries to counter to a DDT, but Sheamus just powers him back up and hits the power slam anyway. That was awesome. And then on the outside, Sheamus picks up Waller, hits the rolling senton, finds the camera and goes, "Are you not entertained?"
He's been having some really great interactions with the camera over the past few weeks. After the knee hurt around the world, Waller cold on the mat. The 10 beats the Bodron. Rusev on the apron attacks Sheamus. Although Sheamus gets another shot in at Waller, he's out cold. Sheamus gets the pin, but Rusev has the shillelagh right on the spine. And then Rusev puts Sheamus in the accolade. The ref needs to step in. Security pulling Rusev away, taunting Sheamus on the ramp.
I was a little surprised. So Sheamus wins with the bro kick, like you said. I really thought this was going to be, all this comes out and he's like, this is the end of it at SummerSlam. We're going to... I thought you were going to be a Rada moment here. So maybe they're saving that for the Monday after.
Yeah, I think maybe they're saving it for next week or perhaps like leading up into another PLE later this year.
Maybe something else to put on a Clash in Paris at the end of August or whatever in August.
I mean, 2 Europeans, that would be a good draw. Backstage, Naomi...
We should write this. We should write this shit.
Backstage, Naomi is with Jackie Redmond. Naomi hypes up her title defense at SummerSlam. It'll be a cautionary tale, she warns. She'll take on all challengers. After the Unreal promo, the New Day are interviewed by Byron Saxton. Byron getting their reaction. Kofi deflects over Grayson Waller's loss. We should be celebrating this new chapter for Grayson Waller. And really, my note is they should be doing these backstage because the entire time the New Day are being booed and it's distracting them from completing the promo. And while they're trying to get it done in this like tight segment, it's just kind of not working. There's points where it does work, like with Dom a few weeks ago where Roxanne takes over. But honestly, I feel like these are things that could be done better backstage. Xavier does snap. He calls out the fans in the stadium as big back gremlins. We should be thankful for the New Day. Perhaps we should thank God for the New Day. I'm really starting to like Xavier Woods. He's just really funny on the mic. Very quick, very agile. It's really fun to watch.
He's so funny. Again, I know I've mentioned it a couple times, but the show they did, I believe it was Clash of the Titans or a couple of Titans or something. The 4-shot D&D campaign. It was those two. Brendan Mulligan was the DM, and then it was Chelsea Green and Bailey. I cannot recommend.
That's on Dropout, right?
That's on Dropout. They're all so funny. They're all hilarious.
I may have acquired the Dropout password.
Hit me up. We'll talk about some content later that they do. That's awesome.
We do get a roster reactions to the passing of Hulk Hogan. I do want to highlight 2 quotes here. No matter what people say about wrestling, they say Hulk Hogan. I feel like a very measured response from The Miz. And then
you're not wrong. Like, yeah, when you say wrestling, people are going to go Hulk Hogan for another 30 years, probably.
Probably, yeah. And then Cody mentions our Babe Ruth isn't with us anymore.
Does he think Babe Ruth is still alive?
My question is, was Babe Ruth Dominican?
Say more.
Now, if you look at writings, especially of like Ty Cobb, noted racist, he didn't like Babe Ruth because Babe Ruth treated black people like people. So there are some other modern takes that Babe Ruth may have been Dominican, but I think it's kind of interesting to think about. Backstage,
yeah, I didn't really hear that. I didn't know that. So let's get weird.
Yeah, go back, look at some pictures. We do. Elsewhere, Paul Heyman talks sweetly into the ears of Big Bronson Reed. A power vacuum begins to reveal itself. Breaker talks to Reed. Breaker is definitely reading off of cue cards here. Breaker and Heyman sort of acting as the angel and devil, kind of devils on both of Reed's shoulders. But Breaker has a plan.
So you're telling me it's like Devil and Super Devil on his shoulder?
Basically. In the ring, Lyra has a town hall. These aren't just big shoes, they're her Becky stompers. As Lyra does the typical town hall speech, Becky's music plays. We think that Becky is going to be coming down the ramp, but no, she's by the desk. Lyra sees this. She winds up and goes for the self-harm dive outside. Lyra attacks with the kendo stick, the Singapore cane, the Sandman special.
Yeah, Becky gets up for like half a second after she takes maybe 12 shots, and then Lyra immediately picks her up for the Nightwing. Becky's like, nope, I'm out of here. Powders. And is like yelling up the ramp, like, again, what are you doing to turn this? That's not her fault.
We get a pre-tape interview of Corey Graves talking to Sami Zayn. Really, the production team set up using these soap opera settings. Graves doesn't get too much time with Sami Zayn because Karrion Kross barges in on the interview. He doesn't ask if he can turn the chair around and sit on it backwards. Scarlett looks at Sami sexily. You're not going to make it to SummerSlam, and that's not going to work for me, brother. Karrion gets everyone to show his true colors, but Sammy's just one tough nut to crack. Kross just wants to hear Sami say, Kross told the truth. Scarlett had the whole pipe the whole time. She brings it out. She gives it to Kross. Kross taunts Sami with it. Sami says, maybe you're wrong about everything. If Sami wins, Karrion now has to admit that he was wrong, but subtly, Karrion smiles into the camera. What does he have cooking?
Cooking all along.
Yeah, no, this is a really fun thread and storyline here. I'm really excited to see what happens after SummerSlam. Backstage, Jackie Redmond and Bayley are talking. Bayley won't be at SummerSlam. Jackie asks, where's your head at? Where's your head at? She's lost her opportunities at titles, at Mania, at SummerSlam. She's just had a loss for words and walks away. Connor, I have never been so dejected watching wrestling.
Damn, Bayley's really good. Like, feel like Bayley's a great wrestler. It's like Bayley is a great sports entertainer. Period.
And maybe a role model?
To Lyra.
For some people, maybe not Lyra anymore.
Not anymore, dude.
Not anymore, dude. Moving on, we have an 8-woman tag team match. We have Naomi, Chelsea Green, and the Secret Service versus Nikki Bella, Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, and Stephanie Vaquer. This is so sweet when it starts out. Nikki Bella is just so excited to be one of the girls. You know, Nikki Bella has, in her return to the WWE, has been phenomenal. She really hasn't shown that she lost a step. And for her to step up and compete at this level with 3 of the best women, I mean, let's call it like 7 of the best women in the division. It's pretty awesome. Io and Stephanie are thrilled to hug Nikki Bella as she comes out. I think Io wasn't expecting the hug, so she was a little thrown off. But they should have done the stomp together. Rhea should have let them do the stomp together.
God protect your gimmick, dude. Because she didn't get pyro. If they got pyro, yes, pyro.
Gotcha. Yeah, if they have pyro, I see. You got it. Naomi and Rhea start off the match, but Naomi doesn't want to deal with Rhea. She blind tags Chelsea. Caught off guard, Chelsea doesn't want to face Mommy, but fortunately, Nikki Bella does want to face Chelsea and goes right after her. I want to pick a move of the match. I can't decide. I won't decide. You can't stop me.
Oh, really? I'm surprised. You're a sucker for the Devil's Kiss.
I'm a sucker for bouncy. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, there's so much going on here. I mean, you do have Stephanie Vaquer doing the Devil's Kiss to Chelsea Green. You have a Riptide. You've got the elbow drop from Piper Niven. I forgot to mention this the first time we recorded, but Naomi takes out Io by putting her between her knees and then dropping the Genius of the Sky from the second rope after a brutal leg drop. And then after that, a brutal leg drop. Naomi's light up shoes. Iconic.
Yeah, there were so many good things in this match. And again, gotta call it the Devil's Kiss just because of the commentary reaction to it.
Right.
So Michael Cole is just like, he's going to leave to Booker T. Booker T does it. But what Corey Graves gave us was fantastic.
I'm a happily married man, Michael Cole. Leave it alone. So good.
As far as my move of the match, there was a point where the Secret Service were tagging each other in and out like 8 times in 45 seconds, and we got a lot of really cool combo moves.
Yeah.
To the point where Chelsea does the code breaker, the face breaker on the double knees, holds it so that Piper can come and hit the running senton, and then Alba Fire hits the swanton bomb off the top. Like, it's broken up for a 2, but that was just such a fantastic sequence. Just boom, boom, boom. It was awesome.
Yeah, it's so hard when they put 8 really talented women in the ring together like this. But the finale here is after Bouncy Bouncy. Stephanie almost has the pin, but Alba breaks it up. Bella gets a Bella Buster in on Fire. But does Naomi want the smoke from Bella? Not without the title. But actually, she takes the title and starts walking up the ramp. But Io hits her from behind on the ramp, and Nikki Bella drops the champ. Io missile drop kick. Nikki does the thing with Io, the head tilt.
The head point, and then Piper Niven comes up, clotheslines them both, and then hits her own head point.
Hell yeah. Rhea and Piper face off, a riptide on Piper, and Vicaire gets the SVB on Green, while Rhea plays defense. 1, 2, 3, pin. What an awesome match.
Yeah, that was great. I'm glad they all got to do stuff and all get. It's very hard to put 8 talented wrestlers in a match and have them all get their little moments and shine. I feel like they accomplished that.
For sure. Backstage, the Judgment Day are in the clubhouse. Finn rallies the troop, but make sure to let Dom enjoy WWE 2K25 on the Nintendo Switch 2, now available.
Yeah, I gotta talk about this. So Dom's like, oh, you guys need backup out there for your tag title match? Finn's like, no, we're good. Just like hang out back here. Roxanne's like, we can play some video games. Just hands Dom a Switch 2, and it's like, oh, we can play WWE 2K25. The best is that Dom's like, you like video games? Looking at Roxanne like some 14-year-old that couldn't realize that girls could like video games. And then he like clutches it to his chest and he's like, this is mine, right? This is mine. She's like, of course it's yours, Dom. And then Raquel goes, you know who else likes to play 2K25? Liv. Dom's like, yes, let's FaceTime her. Okay, where you going? Let's FaceTime Liv.
Yeah, I love where they're going with this, and it's all really working out well for the company. Backstage, Stephanie, Nikki Bella, Rhea, and Io celebrate. Well, Stephanie and Nikki Bella peel off Rhea and Io have something to discuss. Rhea finally has Io's number. Io says, you've never beat me, and you never will. After a phenomenal performance last week, we get LWO versus Judgment Day in a title affair for the World Tag Title. I mean, this is actually the match where I was like, I can't decide a move of the match, and I won't decide a move of the match. And when we first recorded, I mean, I went through this and I went, Joaquin Wilde, a combo suplex with Cruz del Toro, the Cruz del Toro missile dropkick, the huge crossbody from the top turnbuckle, the Judgment Day outside the ring. At the beginning of an ad break, there's stereo baseball slides into kicks by LWO on Judgment Day that almost throws them over the barricade. A huge corkscrew move that's intercepted. I mean, Del Toro getting up on the top rope, going coast to coast to McDonough's face, and then dragging him into the middle for a pin. How does McDonough kick out of that pin, man? What an awesome match.
Yeah, this, I think, was the best match of the weekend. And then again, you really hit it off. I'll kind of jump into the finish here. So first, El Grande Americano 2.0 comes out. He's on the ropes, giving LWO hell. Dragon Lee comes out to attack El Grande Americano. So they end up kind of fighting up the ramp back to Gorilla. JD tries to grab the title and hit LWO with it to cheat. But and it's countered, and Del Toro gets to the top rope with a chance to splash down on Finn. But another masked man comes out and pulls Del Toro off the top rope, leading Corey Graves to go, oh, it's El Grande Americano again. Even though, once again, this one's in a tracksuit, different mask.
Completely different build.
that lets Finn get to the top rope, finish the coup de grace to win, and Judgment Day retains the title.
Yeah, another match full of shenanigans for Judgment Day. What a shock, right, folks? But who's this new masked fella? This new masked wrestler. Some are saying that it's Pete Dunne. We haven't seen Pete Dunne for a few months. Has he come back now as a masked wrestler? We'll see. During an ad break, we get a big Bronson Reed pre-tape. But what about the big fluffy friend in your house? That's right, Farmer's Dog. The Farmer's Dog is a service that delivers gently cooked, freshly made pet food with balanced recipes, guided by science and driven by love. Listen, folks, it's human-grade dog food for your family's furriest members. Here's how it works. You build the plan. You tell them a little bit about your dog. They'll create a plan with personalized portions to meet their unique nutritional and caloric needs. You'll try it out. You'll get a box with up to 2 weeks of freshly made food. And if you love it, you're all set. You'll keep receiving boxes of food automatically whenever you're running low. Free and flexible deliveries, nationwide shipping across the U.S., eco-friendly packaging, and around-the-clock customer service. Order now through the link in the show description and get 50% off your first box. Remember, if you use our link, linktr.ee/cshowpod, or click on the link in the description, you're directly supporting the C Show. Thanks. And back to the show. So we are talking about this big Bronson Reed pre-tape. Seth came with a plan. There is a vision. There is a plan. We will not stop until we have consumed it all. I think it's really showing how adaptable the company can be when they're moving and pivoting like this and doing something interesting with Reed and Breaker and not just dissolving the vision and moving on from it and just like going, whoa, that happened. But, going on and doing something different from it. We end this ad break with a Byron Saxton interview of Rusev. Rusev complains, did Sheamus congratulate me when I returned, or did he run out and challenge me for a fight? He calls out Sheamus, you are nothing but a low-life snake, backstabbing. I see right through you, not because you are pale, because I know you. When I see you in the armpit of America, Brooklyn, I will beat you down. Rusev demands. The operator zooms in, and we spend the last 15 seconds of this commercial break zoomed in on Rusev's angry face. Are you ready for your favorite Austrian? It's Gunther. Gunther comes out. He's got a message for CM Punk before their World Heavyweight Championship match at SummerSlam. Last week was a clean victory. Really? Was it? He went toe-to-toe with Punk. He isn't going to be able to run out of things to say about CM Punk.
He says that he left the voice of the voiceless speechless.
That's right. But as soon as he says, I made CM Punk shut up, Cult of Personality starts playing. Punk doesn't want to be World Heavyweight Champion. He needs to be World Heavyweight Champion. Yeah, that's right.
Machine go burr. The Red Wings need another title. I need it like a dad mowing his lawn needs a cold beer. Cheese Pop Machine go burr.
You might think that's a constellation prize, but it means the world to me. That's right. He said constellation instead of consolation. I don't deserve.
Oh, God.
No. I was going to finish up.
So Gunther starts picking up the mic and telling Punk to shut up. Punk just puts his hand on the microphone and pushes it back down. It's like, I wasn't done talking yet. There are levels, and you are not on my level.
Agreed. Punk finishes with saying, I don't deserve to call myself the best in the world. I earned it. We get a preview of Jackie Redmond's conversation with Jelly Roll in the preview show this weekend before SummerSlam. Really quickly, the clip they chose, Jelly Roll saying, fuck you, Logan Paul.
Immediately starts just saying, F Logan Paul. Charlie Roll then goes, imagine being athletic your whole life, then this fat guy comes in, and everyone is like, oh, we love this guy. I just assume that's how most people feel when they listen to the C Show.
It's even better the second time. Our main event on Raw this evening is Jey Uso versus Big Bronson Reed. I mean, this is a tough one. It starts off pretty fairly matched up until Reed clobbers Jey on the back of his neck. After a backbreaker by Reed, Jey rolls out onto the floor. And just through the break, Jey is just getting beaten up. Heyman eggs on Reed, hit him so hard, his family feels it. After the break, Uso comes back strong. A suicide dive to the outside, but Breaker comes running down the ramp and spears Jey. You almost didn't see it. He was that fast. Reed and Breaker team up on Jey, but Roman's music plays. Roman almost picks up Reed, but Reed fights back. Reed goes shoulder first into the post. Roman helps Jey get back up, Jey holding himself up against the ropes. Breaker runs into a super kick, and Reed gets the Superman punch from Roman. Breaker spears Roman, and he's down. Reed clotheslines Jey. Reed sets up Jey. Breaker speeds up for another spear. Breaker drags Jey over for the tsunami by Reed. Breaker goes from the apron to the desk, taking out Roman over the desk. Yeah, will the referee come out and just deal with this?
No.
No, of course not. Breaker directs Reed up to the top rope. Roman gets a tsunami to boot. It's Breaker's ring now. The dogs bark for him. Roman, tossed out of the ring, rolls like a rag dog. Who will put an end to this madness?
You said rag dog the second time, too?
I wanted to keep it, man. I liked it.
I love it. I love it so much.
It's you got to commit to the bit, man. Got to commit if you're going to commit.
So then we get to my my favorite moment of all of this. So Breaker's like staring through the camera, gets this look on his face, goes outside the ring, starts doing his top speed, and then spears both Jey Uso and Roman through that barricade, that same spot on the barricade.
Yes.
The first thing that happens is Bronson Reed comes up and just takes Roman's shoes. These are mine now. And then when they're doing their like pose down in the ring at the end, he's just holding up the shoes.
Not the Jordans, not the Jordans. These belong to me now, Reed says. It's a reckoning, Cole mentions as the credits roll. What a way to hype up this match. Bring together Jey Uso and Roman Reigns. Kind of the, Roman being a former face of the business, Jey sort of moving into that role now. It's really interesting. And Jey is such a crowd favorite too. Anytime he pops in, it's just a huge pop. It's awesome. So anything here on Raw before we finish up and talk more about SummerSlam?
No, again, I feel like they gave everything stakes. I feel like this was a well-paced show. Nothing really drug. Again, some amazing tag matches of all different kinds. I'm very excited to do this weekend, man. Very excited.
Yeah, no, it's going to be an exciting SummerSlam, not just because it's the first 2-night SummerSlam, but just everything that's been leading up to it. Well, we're going to talk more about SummerSlam and perhaps some changes here that may occur in the next few days here on The C Show. Welcome back to the C Show. We're going to finish up real quick here with some SummerSlam updates. One big one specifically, but Drew McIntyre is stuck in England right now. So apparently Drew left the US to go to a wedding in the UK. Congratulations to friends or family. And as Drew was returning to the US, he was told that he is not allowed to return to the US. Now, if you haven't been paying attention to the news, the U.S. government has been doing some clown shit, and there have been some various changes to our immigration system. Now, typically, there is an exemption for athletes. However, this brings up a lot into question here. So, you mentioned this earlier during the record, but, is there a lawyer that's going to be able to argue No, he's not an athlete. He's a sports entertainer. Is the company's lawyers going to be strong enough to appeal that? Are we getting worked, Connor?
I don't know, man. If anyone to do it, it's Drew. And
Yeah.
I just find it very hard to believe that the multi-billion-dollar company that does so many events, whether it's for the UFC or WWE, does so much stuff, and like how much this really holds for them. Because again, I believe they announced that on Friday, so right, they literally have a week to get it together. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. I really don't know.
You know, and you would think that the company that's hosting a UFC event on the south lawn of the White House would be able to get this fast tracked, so it's not even an issue. But guess it is what it is. But who do you think steps in for Drew McIntyre if he can't make it?
You know, the Miz is back. He's hot right now. Like, I'm trying to think if there's just any other kind of like little chicken shit heel they can pull in just to get him like additional heat. Who knows? Maybe this is the long bit and it's going to be Travis Scott, who was always committed the whole time. Who knows?
See, but then you'd have Logan Paul and Travis Scott together on a tag team. So 2 celebrities. I put here in the notes. So the Miz said that he would step in if needed. I put in here, what if they do it to us again and we get Joe Hendry at SummerSlam?
That would be super cool. I don't know exactly how it would fit, especially if he'd have to be on the heel team. Like, again, I'm sure it would get a great pop. Who knows? Maybe it's all a long con to turn on Logan Paul anyway. Maybe. Hey, just good as anybody else.
Like, you need to convince me to turn on Logan Paul.
Fair.
Exactly. Well, folks, anything else from you, Connor, before we say goodbye to our friends?
I'm very excited for SummerSlam. It's the first 2-night SummerSlam. You know they have to make sure it goes off without a hitch. It's got to be awesome if they want to keep it 2 nights and do more events 2 nights.
Yeah.
So they're going to put everything behind it. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, no, and we'll have a full recap of SummerSlam next week on The C Show. Of course you like The C Show. Make sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share our podcast with your friends. Make sure to follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, Blue Sky, Facebook, and YouTube at C Show Pod. You have questions for the boys? Send us an email, cshowpod@gmail.com. Thanks to our friends, Amir and Patrick, for their assistance. The C Show is a production of 832 Media. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll be back next week.
I can't let it slide, 'cause you are a real American. Even if you're trans